So once we choose new blank sway, the basic starting template for our sway will be there. And I'd like to just talk you through some of the features of sway. It's still very early on in its development. Not much has changed. I suspect it's going to become more intuitive. But for now, there's just a couple of things that you need to know. A sway really is a situation where you create a linear storyline of things that are going to appear in your digital guide. So the first thing anyone would see when they open up a completed sway is a title. So for our purpose, we'll create a title. So the first box that comes up in front of you is the request for you to give your sway a name. So for this, we'll call it Buddhism in Cambodia. So that's what my sway is going to be called for now. I can go back and change it, so that's just going to be my working title. So that's the title section. Now what sway invites you to do is just build up what's going to be on your title page. And when you finish building up your title page, you click the cross, this cross here, and it invites you to click to create the next section. But before we start creating sections, let's have a look at what we have to play with in this app. The first thing is the storyline. If you click storyline, this is the page that you're going to see. And each time you create a new section, it creates a new box, and you can decide what box it will be. So the storyline section is the first one that you need to know. We'll come back to that when we start populating the sway. The other thing that you can click on is the design. So here on the top left, we've done storyline. Design is the next one. The design is simply an invitation to choose what your sway looks like. Now this is a digital guide. Your sway can either go from top to bottom, it can be read that way, or it can be swiped from and read from left to right. So that's what the design option allows you to choose. So once you click on design, it'll give you its suggested basic design. But if you click here on the right on styles, this is where you get to make choices. So at the moment, because it's highlighted in green, you'll see that we have a vertical situation of this particular sway. So it'll scroll from top to bottom. You might choose to do it horizontally, which means you'd need to swipe your page from left to right, or you can situate it by having slides rather than continuous text. I like to work in horizontal mode. I like to swipe from left to right, so that's what I'm going to do for now. At the moment, you can see from this section in the middle, it's really just white writing with a black background. But you can customize that in different ways. You can choose, if you scroll up and down this section, you can choose to do different colors and different fonts. So you just have a play with whichever one you like. You might actually start doing a blue one, and then once you work halfway through your sway, you might decide you want a different color scheme. You just come back to this page and you choose to change your color scheme. Of course, it does change the way things are set out on your page, but it is a matter of trial and error and seeing what works for you. So there are different color fonts, different style fonts, different backgrounds. Obviously, none of these are going to suit our particular task. Cupcakes don't quite work with Buddhism, but you'll find something that works for you. So once you're happy with a background and with the text, just sit with that for the moment, and then you can come back and make changes later. So that's what the different style section invites you to select from. And there are always lots of options here. Plenty of options. It's just a matter of playing. So once you decide what you want, I'll just stick with the teal and the white. You can get out of the style section and you return to storyline. Storyline is your working space. That's where you do all of the creating. So once you start to create, later on you can go to the top right-hand corner and select the play button. But that's for much later. For now, let's just learn how to populate the sway.